What is going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to see everybody here. I want to say that. Good crowd today, I think. Michael, good to see you. Joe, good to see you. Then I skipped out on a bunch of stuff. Why is that not? There we go. Where else? I think I missed a few here. Let me scroll the back up. Ryan, good to see you. Opening as always. Zeal, good to see you. Morning. Jake, good morning. Hoos, morning. Shambot, morning. Wayne, morning. Nubis, please everyone pick up your pen, look straight at it, click on the button on its side. You might see a brief flash. Do this after the show. The agency thanks you for your cooperation. Indeed. I think that's where I pick up with Dorcas. Thinking about this, Mr. Disembodied Agency voice, if I'm hearing your here, doesn't that make it our time? Jeff Spicoli. Oos, there he is. Kristen, morning. Harrigan, good morning. Todd, good to see ya. How you been, man? Laramie, morning. Commuting. Quote unquote commuting. Artie, good to see ya. And then where's my, here we go. Ryan, all right, some sound checks, awesome. Trumpet is back in action. Thanks, Trumpet. Congratulations, Daryl, for receiving Trumpet's gifted membership. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Bill, morning. When do you take off, dude? Would you take off soon? Aaron, morning. Good to see ya. Beers? We're due for beers, dude. Nick, morning. We're due for beers, dude. I could say that for everybody. Chad, morning. Jeffrey, good morning. Bill, Tuesday. I'm out Tuesday. Wheels up on Tuesday. Aaron, confirmation, yes. Good. Good. Well, to say if I had a topic today, I would be a liar. In the words of Henry Rollins. So yeah, I figure I would just stand here and stare at you for a little while. Finish my iced coffee before I make a strong pivot to the flavored water, which will remain nameless until they pay me. What's got everybody going on in the tabletop role-playing game space? Anything? Any conversations going on? Any special convos? And I'll give you a couple seconds to think about that. All right. Did you come up with something? Drinking a form of coffee in the morning? Yeah, I do every time before I stream. I just don't do it on camera. I mean, gotta get this thing rolling somehow. Everything else is illegal, so don't do drugs, kids. In my day job, I actually did a public service announcement the other day because where I work, they do background checks as part of the hiring process. And first, every once in a while, I get the person that says drug screen. I said no drug screen, but remember, the brain is a terrible thing to waste. Jeff's redoing OSC. Jeff, you got to play the game. You got to quit making the book, play the game, and then make the book because it's an awesome game. You're gonna do it. You should do 8.5 by 11 just to do the opposite of the standard form factor. Quick, put a tack in this chair. Yeah, I don't sit in a chair. Orcus. That's right. There you go, Ryan. Kristen, working on some games to run when I'm home in 10 days. Also really excited to be playing Mothership with people I don't regularly play games with. There you go. Variety's the spice of life. Whoops. It may just me, but blah, 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 blah. It may just be me, but did we just drop a few frames? Uh-oh. Don't say that. Podcast, live stream, video. Yeah. Daggerheart. Anyone think it's good? Daggerheart. Let's talk about Daggerheart. It's going to overthrow D&D, right? Just farted, so I'm going to light this candle. No, I didn't have flatulence. See, that's the problem with streaming. You don't get the full effect. Being in the room. Actually, I should probably light one of these. Why do they have 3 wicks when your wax is all down to the bottom? It'll like set this glass on fire temperature-wise. Let's talk about crandles. Crandles approved. Jim, morning. Wayne Peacock weighed in pretty heavily on Daggerheart the other day with our gaming group before we kicked off our Outcast Silver Raiders game. Jeff's redoing it on newsprint. I'm telling you, I've shown some of you guys Jeff's work, like repackaging games. That should be a thing. I'm surprised there isn't more people that do it. I mean, there's a little bit of a price to it, but, you know. Phil, Draw Steel is D&D 6e. Phil's mentioned Draw Steel. Anybody playing Draw Steel? The version WotC doesn't have the metal to make. Whoa. Strong word, shots fired. Booyah. Your turn, WotC. You're up, WotC. Draw Steel. I heard that if you want, like, all of the action, it makes it, like Phil mentioned, like it apologizes zero for saying, you know, this game is not for dungeon crawlers or social thespians. What's the question? There is no question, Michael. There is no question. Only answers. Mine group and I enjoyed Daggerheart. Fun mix of tactical and storytelling play. I heard if you are a fan of meta currencies, Daggerheart may be just for you. Kristen says, I don't think Daggerheart is going to overthrow D&D, but it seems pretty fun. I'm going to run a 13th Age module for it at a local con. 13th Age, 2E, Tales of the Valiant, Draw Steel, Daggerheart. Shadowdark's going to even be put in the dark before too long. Got to keep up with these big ones, the big movers. Even Free League, like Free League. Come on, what are you doing to me, man? Where's my damn Coriolis game? Come on, Tomas and crew. I like the meditative aspect to the show. Namaste, gamers. How does the D20 make you feel? Right. I think Daggerheart is a good game. It's not for everyone. So much meta currency. Jim, beware. Let me rephrase that. So much meta currency. Jim, beware. See, it's all punctuation, folks. It's all delivery. That's what you're here for. A lot of people are going to have some issues with the lack of initiative. Ooh. Did Wayne survive the session? For those of you that don't know that reference, Wayne was on, I think he's on character number 4 in our Outcast Silver Raiders. And just to keep in mind, we just completed session 9. But Wayne did. We had a combat too, and he survived. That was the biggest kicker, right? Like, there you go. See, there he goes. Jim says it. Whoops. Where you? I'll play games with meta currency. I just won't spend any. Oh, you broke it. Jim broke our game. Stop it, Jim. You can't play like that. They did make it. It's called 4E. Oh. Jim says it all goes into a meta retirement fund. That's right. Save up your meta currency, folks. Because they're to take your Medicaid away from you. Jim's a hoarder. News is out. It can't be peace until Sean gets his Coriolis book. No, that is true. It's like, it'll probably be around August 12th. Sean's like, every time I come downstairs from where I work, upstairs, my office. It's a bedroom with a computer. I always go and look at the front stoop. Is it out there yet? And I do that like every time I come down the stairs. Look out the window. Nope. Every day. Probably 5 times a day. And the thing is, I'll get it. I'll open it up. Cool. I'll put it down. And it will not be seen again for another year. Now, I think like DCC, Shadowdark has established a community. I think it'll stick around. It'll stick around. Yeah, for sure. Where's my damn Forbidden Lands 2E? Well, good luck with that. Free League. Did they ever promise 2E though, Wayne? Or is that just us wishing it into existence? Michael, spread a man. That seems like a very sexist last name. I just want to say, Michael, could you please change that? Could you change your last name, please? Can you make it Michael Spread a Person, please? Thank you. Thank you. Morning, I'm back from Peru. Well, travel flex, and I'm ready to play some games. I'm tired of traveling the world. I'm back here to play some games. Thing about Daggerheart and Drawsteel is I might be interested if 5e was all I played, but I have a stack a mile high of other games to get through that sound far more interesting. Whatever, dude. Not a fan of metacurrency games that game too much in RPGs. Game's the game too much in RPGs. There, see? Told you, it's all punctuation, tone, inflection. I'm learning to talk. I'm introducing 10 new players to ttrpgs using Shadowdark today. Chad, level up. Laramie Gaming, still running Demon Plague, CNC. That's Castles and Crusades, folks. Pondering getting ready for Gamehole. That's something to put on my list. Reading Tales from the Smoking Wire Room and rereading Kanak. Excellent. Dare you ask someone to change their last name, Sean? Not sure why this sets me off. Might have something to do with, oh, never mind. Todd, I know you had a rough childhood, buddy. I don't want to. I feel as though I can't poke. I might send you back, 40 years, and could be bad things. I don't want to do that. Done. I am now Michael Spread'em, man. Michael has become a law enforcement official, is what is now his new thing. Delta Green CNC. Jeff's a CNC devotee. Although we haven't played in, I don't know, 3 months. Has it been 3 months, Jeff? Do you even know what's going on in that game? Inquiring minds want to know. Delta Green's Jeff's favorite game as well until I ruin it for him. Which is just a matter of time, by the way. Not as bad, actually, not as bad around here. The Canadian accent really hides it well. Oh, that's true. It all depends on, in America, your name has a connotation to it. But like I say in RPGs, it just depends on where you're from. Sean, what's your character's name? Crappier. How do you spell that? Crapper. That's how you say it? Well, it depends on where you're from. DG is awesome, hard to run with more than 3 to 4, though. I'm running 5. And it's fine. It's fine. Nick, I got to talk. We should, what is it called? Kibitz. We should kibitz about it a little bit. Am I even using that properly? I should be, right? I should tell you, you would get a kick out of the game and what's going on. I'm starting a new project, everybody. Yep. New project. Some of you know. You know who you are. It's top secret. Don't tell people though. Don't say anything to anybody. If you've gotten a little taste, shh. It's coming, folks. A little sneaky sneak. Would be partnering up too. That's right. What's it about? Not gonna tell you. Or I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. And that's expensive because then I'd have to travel all over the country. I'd have to find out where you live. And I don't have the time, effort, or energy to do that. So I think our DM is going to start a new chapter. We're stuck in a desert oasis, last CNC session, next game this month, bro. Is it? He just threw out a date. I didn't see like it was confirmed. My buddy Joe. Hey, I was thinking maybe August 30th. So is that like you're still thinking about it, or is that going to happen? I don't know. Todd says there are actually sewer covers in some older London streets that have crapper across them because they were put there by Thomas Crapper's old plumbing company. Are you related to Thomas? Is there a legacy there? Do you inherit his plumbing empire? Is it am I having bandwidth issues? Don't say that. Oh, drop frames. It's low, I think. It's red, but it's low. I don't know what's going on. Stream is weird. Oh, great. Freaking fantastic. Is something kicking off that I'm not aware of? Let me check something here. I don't think so, but I'll exit something that I usually am suspicious of. I don't have anything much else running that I know of. Time machine, maybe? I don't know if that works. Now I'm really mad because now my stream's dicked up. What do you call Castles and Crusades adventure set in a mandolin workshop, CNC Music Factory? Hello, this thing on. Hey-o. Hey-o. He's in town all day, ladies and gentlemen. So if you see him, make sure you take him out of town. Oh, fantastic. Great. That's just freaking great. There is royalties, but not enough to get a check every month. There you go. Stream is pausing for me until I refresh, which fixes it all for a minute or so. Great. It's great. So that means everybody's going to drop. So before you all like get pissed off at the quality of the stream, make sure you hit the like button. In this case, hit the dislike button. Whatever. Missed the announcement, maybe. There hasn't been an official one. It's coming. It's gonna be a little while, but it's coming. No question of the day. Oh, I should probably put that out there, or just so people could come in. Just hoping you come with something, Tim. You didn't ruin it, Laramie. Sean's sending YouTube with ransomware. Pay up with likes and subscribes. Yep, that's right. If you are not subscribed, your stream sucks. So if you subscribe and your stream sucks, then you're not paying me. I don't know. Maybe I fixed it with the time. I've got these things that go off that kind of pisses me off because I want to usually set them for I don't know, in the middle of the morning when I'm sleeping. CNC God of A punishing you for blasphemy. The numbers of the stream are spiking as far as watching now, but you know what that should be spiking? The like button. Spike the like button. Crypto mining via YouTube streaming. That's new. Probably. Did you pause planning for your Western Marches thing? I have. West Marches is on hiatus. I'm gonna do a hard pivot. Sean say max headroom. Max headroom. How about there? Question. Why do so many like kitchen sink fantasy? All right, first of all, if you're going to get into that kind of stuff, you got to define what kitchen sink fantasy is. Kitchen sink fantasy, which is probably like elves, dwarves, halfling, D&D, right? Fair? Tim poses, how does your group decide what RPG to play next? That's a good one. I like that, Tim. Thanks for putting it out there. So we have 2 questions. Now we're going to be all over the place. Harrigan says, good question, Hoos. I, for one, do not have the answer. Yeah, I would say that Harrigan does not play kitchen sink fantasy. Jim, the only time I've put a kitchen sink in a fantasy game, there was a green slime in it. Hashtag checks out. Kitchen sink fantasy is comfort food. Oh, shit. Here we go. Oh, here we go. The rage. Here we go. Everybody's going to be like, brah. And somewhere in this chat, somebody likes it. And they're like, but I like it. Screw off, you. Get the hell out of here. Keep in mind, somebody might like it. Not for Tarragon. That's all right. That's fine. I've grown to not be a fan. I'm going to run Shadowdark at GameholeCon, and it's going to be standard. Like, I'm going to do elves and halflings and dwarves and all that other stuff in Shadowdark. And for those of you that aren't in the know, my West Marches game with Shadowdark, only humans. So it'll be interesting because I don't know what the elves and dwarves and halflings do in Shadowdark. Jim will be here all week in a sink with a gelatinous cube or green slime or both. A gelatinous cube and green slime would probably make a great toothpaste or soap. Just saying. Cheers. Cheers. So how do you get your group to play another game? How's that gone? Because everybody in this chat is usually game master. There's some folks are excluded from that bucket. That's all right. But they still contribute to playing the new game or the next game, whatever that new game is. Who was I talking to recently? Probably a candidate at work or something like that. I come across a nerd that recognizes me as a tabletop RPGer. Yeah, our crew plays whatever game. I came across one that was... God, it did mention Gloomhaven, but he was going to run a game. Can't remember. It wasn't like a tabletop RPG as we would define it in the chat. It's kind of like on the cusp of it. I don't remember what it was. Crap. It's very much closer to board gamey. Or maybe it was video games. I don't know. Well, so much for that story. Let's move on. Stupid. Maybe folks started on Kickstarter Fantasy and it's just easy to roll back to. Are there kitchen sinks in Halloween Town? Maybe. I don't know. Can't get in Sean's SD game. I'm running that slot too. That's all right, Laramie. Is Kitchen Sink Fantasy the default Tolkien light D&D melange or something else? Right? We still haven't defined it yet. Who's? Hello? Hello? My groups generally decide what to play based off of general interest of the group. Sometimes individuals pitch something new. I am interested to know. I'll pose this. I'll narrow it down for Tim a little bit. How many of you, if there's a pivot to a new game, or pivot's the word, by the way. If I say pivot, you drink. If you pivot to a new game, how is that driven? Is it driven by the game master, or is it driven by a player or a group of players in your game typically? And if you're not sure, the last time you changed to the game you're playing now, what did that look like? Was it because of the GM, a player, or more than one player? Like for us, the Thursday night group, I'll answer for us, Laramie, Phil, Harrigan, Dwayne. We switch it up all the time. One shots, mini arcs, maybe a single scenario that goes over multiple sessions. Now we're on Outcast Silver Raiders. The change was we will typically put a list of games up that we want to play. And then we kind of weigh in and prioritize those based on the group. Usually one might be at so the one we decide may not all be number one for everybody, but it may be number 1 and 2 out of 5. And the majorities are, if you vote, number 1 gets it, right? Okay, Silver Raiders was one. Of course, there's some kind of a pitch. Has the person run it? Do they want to run it? Have they been itching to run it? So it's that. So right now, Outcast Silver Raiders, we have it's probably the one game. This is safe to say with this game, we played Thursday night. But I would say for Outcast Silver Raiders, the dialogue about the actual game has probably been the most about any game we've actually played, I think is fair to say. Because it's got so much wonkiness to it. It's crazy. And spurs so much discussion because it's wow, what was the designer thinking about this thing? And I could elaborate, but that's how we do it with that game. With the Jeff group, I don't know. There's history there, and it's complex, I will say. My groups generally decide what to play based off general interest of the group. Sometimes individuals pitch something new. Ryan says, I send out a Google form survey and let the players know when I'm excited or willing to run. So that's driven by Ryan. Laramie says people offer things and we just kind of talk about around what we want to do as a group, sometimes splinter in parts. Todd says, I tell them I want to play test something new I'm working on spoken like a true designer. Something new I'm working on. Player rolls their eyes, sigh, and say, that's okay. I was only really attached to this character. Yeah. Jim, thumbs up for doing a survey. That's how I've gauged interest and determined what to run before. Arrogance is, to me, it's more than that. Loads of other races, heritage, common magic, intermingled peoples, anything goes. That's how he chooses his next game. No, he's talking about kitchen sink, obviously. Or maybe not so obviously. I don't know. Here it is. Hoos, finally. Per the Hoos dictionary, to me, Kickstarter fantasy is 5e, Daggerheart, Draw Steel, Pathfinder, etc. Interesting. I think so. Come on, Hoos. This guy, he's not awake. I'm going to give him a pass because he's not awake completely. He's out on the West Coast. So what does Hoos say it is? What do those things have in common? Multiple races, multiple classes, talent, powers, things, things of that nature, I would say, right? 5e with talents. Daggerheart, who knows? I don't know if I'd fall. I suppose that would be in fantasy, I guess. Notice he didn't say medieval fantasy either. Draw Steel, Pathfinder, some of those are very tactical too. I'd rather have kitchen sink fantasy than pineapple pizza fantasy. Yes, Orcus, you and I, someday we're gonna hug that one out. I firmly, no pineapple, none, 0. We've had this discussion before. I don't want to revisit it. Okay. No fruit on my damn pizza. But Sean, tomatoes pizza, or tomatoes fruit. Whatever. Todd says, in other times I give them a list of 3 to 5 potential games, and they take a blind vote. Game with the most votes makes it to the table. Jim says, other times someone just says, hey, I want to try running X, and it happens or it doesn't. So you just show up to the next session, and it's either it's there or not. Wayne. Kitchen Sink, Halloween Town, Gonzo, and Funhouse. The same thing? Maybe the next question, Sean. Well, there is a lot to unpack right there. Defining those things. What's Halloween Town? What is that, Wayne? Halloween Town? Is that where everybody's dressed up and they go trick or treating, or Michael Myers comes and starts, wreaking havoc? Help me out, Chris. What's this guy? Look at this guy. If I think I know who that is. Is that the sneeze? I think it's the sneeze. How you been, man? How you been, stranger? Kitchen sink fantasy. Anything you could think of can potentially be in there. Oh, that's okay. That's a little bit more forgiving than I was. Forgotten Realms, Galarian in RPGs, the Dresden Files, Mark of the Fool in novels. I will admit that those would not come to my mind if somebody were to say, "Hey, do you play kitchen sink fantasy?" But I'm not disagreeing with the fact that those fall into that bucket. But default halfling elf dwarf was just standard RPG fantasy. Oh, shit, I don't know. And kitchen sink includes duck people, robot PCs, half demons, walking plants, etc. Yeah, I don't know. Sure. Is this the new, is kitchen sink fantasy the new, to be determined? Is it to is it to take over OSR as far as what it is? How it's defined? Let's throw out we should have a list of the top 10 weirdest, strangest, hardest to define taxonomy in the tabletop role-playing game space. Go. OSR, kitchen sink fantasy. I don't know. Insert the rest of the 8 here. You can just throw whatever in there. Still looking for a group? Come on, Nelson. Hey, everybody. Let's get Nelson. Well, you know what should we do? We should get a Tinder. Tinder for frickin' role-playing games. Then we'll help Farty get his profile together, and everybody will be swiping right to play with Farty. I think Heart is not kitchen sink, and I want to play it. Okay. Shambot, if someone in the group is really interested, we ask them to take a stab at running it. We only have 2 relatively new players who don't feel comfortable running a game yet. Out of how many? How big's your group, Shambot? We have 12 players and only 2 aren't comfortable running a game. On A's answering the question, how do you get to go to the next game? Michael says, both my groups are RPG tourists. We switch with each campaign to keep things fresh. Jeff says you lobbied DG for years. Well, for years might be strong. Yeah, so here's how I get Jeff and those guys to change a game. Grovel for 2 years. That's how I do it with them. Come on. Just let me know. I got it over here. It's really cool. This is what you do. And let me tell you, it's really cool. It's because you do this. Okay, Sean, sounds good. Just do that for 2 years, 3 years. Eventually somebody will. Then you get Jeff, who's really interested. And eventually the rest have to fall in line. That's how we do it, right? Jeff's the linchpin. If I can't convince him, it's never going to go. That's why when I F it all up, it'll cave and we'll never play it again. Laramie, Sean added me to the Thursday game. I'm somebody. Did I? What are you talking about? Thursday game? Oh. Well, did I? I don't know if I don't remember ever saying that, Laramie. Jim says, this is how he gets other players. The game someone says they want to run, either people are interested enough to go forward or there's no takers. It's pretty simple, I guess. There have been a couple of games where we switch to a new game because we've heard it handles certain mechanics better or different, typically after a real bad session, says Todd. Tim says, what some of my groups do is kind of ranked choice voting. We make a list of around 10 games and people rank them. Tim, how many are running with you? I imagine it's you and Willow, but how many other ones are involved? T-Dog. What's up, T-Dog? Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. Game Master, but friends are great to be happy with what we play. Most games are similar in parts with a few mechanical differences. Oh, cool. Jeff says usually the group puts out a genre and then we discuss game systems. Get it. Jeff makes it sound like we have this conversation like every few months. and there's a variety of choice. Dude, I did not want to play CNC. I'm putting it out there right now. Though I didn't want to play CNC. Nothing wrong with I don't know. I don't know. It's just me. Just me. Tim says best scorer on list gets played to finish his thought. Wayne, the driver gets to pick the station. Yeah. Car radio rules. Star voting. Score, then automatic runoff. Jim, you are too smart for this. You're just too smart here. You're just bringing stuff to a whole new level. That's why I need Jim here every week ever going forward. Gotta pay him an advisory fee. Consultant. You ever work for McKesson, Jim? No, you haven't, because they don't provide a ton of value. Or do they? Oh, shots fired. Well, Sean's never going to work for McKesson. Got that going for me. Hardest kitchen sink. It's just one filled with crusty dishes, black growth on the ceramic, and green science experiments floating on the water. There's Orcus Dorcas. You could find Orcus Dorcas at... Artie says, planning to continue to run games on BS Landia. Nothing wrong with that. Choice will depend on what setting I want to play in and what will interest at least 3 people. Opt in, man. Post it. Here's the deal. This is what the game I'm going to run. This is how long I'm going to run it for. This is when I'm going to run it. This is how long I'm going to run it for each session. Here are any weird house rules. Who is in? They know everything. They opt in. Boom, bam, bang. The dynamic will be much more positive, right? You're not selling anything. They're all opting in. Opt in is awesome. As long as you can keep to it. That's the best. I'm hoping you're getting good people and good games, Farty. Because I think that's the way to go. It really is. People are always so nervous, like, man, I can't believe you play with all these kinds of different people and all these strangers. I don't know if I could do that. Like, how do you even get, how do you play 4 times a week? Like, Tim's a beast, but he probably has a home group of set people. But I've played with a ton of different groups. And some long, some short. It's amazing how many people I've played with that have never been problematic. I think that's the biggest fear. The personalities don't gel, or they do something stupid, or play styles don't coalesce. It's not that bad. Not that bad. This is especially the community, right? Ryan West, hardest kitchen sink. Oh, Mike M. We decided what to do we decided what to play based on people willing to GM offering proposals to the group. We then talk a lot and coalesce around what we are interested in. That's pretty straightforward. T-Dog. We usually like to stay to the same game. Can be exhausting for players to lock in. Anything goes on Thursday. Sean, you finally run riffs? Dude, I've never played a Palladium game. Talked to one guy. That's what it was it's some different person, but he was talking about all the games he owns, and he's like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I look at my kids and I tell them the black and white version, right? You got to recognize them without the colors. You got to recognize them by the weapons they draw. I'm like, well, that's hardcore. And then he was talking about riffs and what else Palladium put up. Robotech. And I'm like, damn, dude, you a big Palladium fan or what? Oh, yeah. I'm like, why don't you just say that? Never played riffs. I thought Heart was a rock band. One of the few I have seen in concert more than once, Jim. That's right. I've seen the Wilson sisters a few times. I think at least 2, maybe 3. I don't know if I could say that for any other group. Nubis, I did surveys in the past as well, coupled with short game pitches. It's how the players picked Hot Springs Island and Tales from the Loop. Other times I just say what I want to run and hope they bite. I got a question, though, with Nubis and those folks that have, like, sat down and played a different game or pitched it or whatever. However method, right? We're going on to the next leg of that journey. Do you find that the players play the same game? How do I put this? The same way in every game? So if the game changes, are they still playing D&D? For example, if I run Delta Green and the Jeff group is used to playing 5th edition, there may be somebody in my group that plays it like 5th edition. So what that means, so then your next question is, well, what does that mean? How do they play like 5th edition in a Delta Green game? Well, maybe like, I don't know, you rush into combat, or it's about collecting treasure or something, right? To beef up your tune. That's right. Put in tune. If you had tune, take the center square. I'm in as long as it's Savage Riffs. Mega damage. Chris says, I've been just asking people I like to play with to join my Discord. And when I want to run something, I tell people what I'm running, when and where, and see who wants to join. Opt in, baby. There it is. I'm lucky to have around 35 people I can ask from now, with half being local and half being online. Verm Ghost, I don't think I've seen you in the chat. Verm, good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Chiming in. Thinking of switching to running Draw Steel for my players. Had a bad round of combat where one of my players knocked prone and stunned. He didn't do anything for 3 rounds of combat. It sucked. Ooh, I don't know if that solution is going to come from playing Draw Steel. Maybe, but it could be almost exactly the same situation. I know Draw Steel's got knockback rules and all kinds of stuff. Like, Matt, I saw a conversation with Matt very early on in the design stages. And there was like, yeah, we want freaking people flying through walls and all kinds of stuff. Like, if that's a thing. I don't know about the stun and incapacitating a competent player character, but it might be right up your guys' alley. I've been tempted to have a short-term campaign about traveling the multiverse, and each reality is actually a different game. All right. Tad, I usually put the core books I'm interested in running on the table and give players 3 post-its to vote with. We look at the books and discuss what we like about them. But as GM, I pick options. Tomatoes is a pizza. Tomato is a pizza. Whatever, dude. Shut up. Shut up, Aaron. Good to see you, Aaron. Hey, whatever it takes to get you out of the shadows to comment. That's all I got to say. So there you go. This guy winning. Tiger blood. Yeah, baby. What about fruit? Oh, God. I'm going to start glossing over fruit talk and pizza. Just saying. Jeff says, our group is actually a difficult crowd. Thank you, Jeff. And I confess that I am often a stubborn pain in Sean's rump. Thank you again, Jeff. I'm particular about the games I play. Nothing wrong with that, Jeff. I feel like I'm Pitchman. Jeff sits at a 6 by 8. 6 by 8. No. An 8, like a, yeah, whatever. Table. Can you see how I game master and describe rooms? Isn't that awesome? This is how I roll. So you get into a room and there's like, walls and stuff. Jeff sits behind a table. What you got? All right, great. Well, hey, so think of Delta Green. It's got a little bit of mythos. It's like espionage and tradecraft, but not really. You're kind of doing investigating, but it's not like Call of Cthulhu, because like you can offset your sanity, so it's not a complete downward spiral, but you offset that onto bonds and basically ruin your relationship with other people that really mean something in your life. And then because you're so caught up in this conspiracy and trying to save humanity as a whole, it basically rots your soul as a human person. Um, I don't know. Next. All right, so now we got Castles and Crusades. It's kind of like if 2E were to have a baby but not hit 3.0 yet. It's still kind of fantasy. You play different races, but there's not like a real lot of skills. And there's two primary, there's like a primary and a secondary attribute. And next. All right, so now we have OSE. OSE is going back to the days of BX. If you remember basic and expert sets, like the blue and red books, it's really kind of trimmed down. You could put a character sheet on a card. It doesn't have anything. It's very much player knowledge over character knowledge. Next. And scene. Or is it like this? There we go. Gotta do this shit right. Halloween Town is a made-for-TV Disney movie series with 4 installments. The more you know. Who says as long as I get credit? Yeah, okay. Cozy. Let's talk cozy. Anybody playing some cozy? Cozy. That's me, NPC. Cozy NPC. Old cranky cisgender middle-aged white guy. That's who I play in cozy and RPGs. Get off my lawn. Stranger has a character sheet overlay for when you move to a different recursion dimension. We played that for a dozen sessions. It was all right. My players didn't like attributes equaling HP. Interesting. Never heard of the term kitchen sink? No? Not in RPGs, but have you heard the term kitchen sink? Elon Musk used it to walk into Twitter on his first day after buying it. He was going to throw it out. Sorry for those of you that really didn't appreciate that. But it's true. Everything but the kitchen sink. Halloween Town is the new term. Imagine a Hollywood style Halloween street scene or a cosplay con. Now make them all PC races. Whoa. I was like, cool. What? No. Kitchen sink could mean it's got everything and the kitchen sink, or it could mean kitchen sink realism, which I don't think gets used much outside of 20th century drama. Oh, you don't hear me anymore? That's fantastic. Kitchen sink is the term I started using because I was worried junk fantasy was a little harsh. Is literally by definition anything and everything. Try refreshing, Jim. I'm still here. He's still there. Wouldn't crockpot fantasy be more apt? What about air fryer fantasy? Oh, God. No. Refreshing worked. I don't know what's going on. Sending too much to the YouTubes. Got to clear the cache. Then there's pumpkin spice fantasy, where we all get really excited about a fantasy game, but it only lasts for a couple months, or just doesn't have the right taste. That's what I find with pumpkin spice fantasy, right? Or am I just thinking pumpkin flavored beer? It's not really pumpkin spice beer. It's usually former Jim, at least for me. Consider that player can bring splat books, classes, races to the table that the GM hasn't even seen before. Yeah, imagine playing second edition with all of the, what is the books, the class books? Ultimate Rogue, Ultimate Fighter, Ultimate. Is it Ultimate? It's not Ultimate. There was another name for it. Somebody's going to put it out there. Sean, we have 7 regular players, sometimes 1 or 2 special guests, people who don't normally play, or seasoned pro who knows one of the other players and has their own group. See. There you go. Country air food fantasy. If you eat it, we'll fry it. Well, that's like American, right? Is that American food? The deep fried? No, it's not American. It's un-American. Sean, when you're talking about C&C, the phrase you're looking for is, I'm not the target audience. Laramie is always much more diplomatic sometimes than myself. I didn't say it sucked. Regarding inviting me to your game about 10 minutes ago, you accidentally said me instead of one of your real players. Oh, I was saying yes. Yeah, instead of, yeah, fine. You're invited. I can't, I can't mention the other folks. Pumpkin spice season is growing. Halloween is already in the sling stores for weeks. Sometimes people opt in, like OSR, and then have regrets. Won't know until the rubber hits the road. No game survives contact with the players. Tim says we played 5 games a week. All different RPGs for years. These days it's only 2 to 3. But you didn't tell me how many people. I'm gameless for the moment. Got a couple things possibly coming up. So you wrapped up that that game you were running, Jim? Hello, my name is Wayne. I love Gonzo, but not Halloween Town. And my sink has dirty dishes, and I've lost the thread. You and me both, Wayne. You don't play a Palladium game, it plays you. Heyo. Jim, hello, my name is Jim. I dressed as Gonzo for Halloween party, but ended up washing dishes in Wayne's kitchen sink. What was the question? Oh my goodness. Chris, I usually catch the show on the replay, and yeah, it's Sneeze. All right, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Figured it was. I could tell. I could just tell. People who play every game like it's D&D are not good at games. Do you hear that? People that play every game like D&D, you suck at playing games. Signed, Tim Jensen. You could find Tim down the street from me. His email is if the game changes, players in my group seem to readily adapt to the new system without too much problem. Well, that's good. After my 4th character, I tend to hang back in combat. That's what you mean? Talking about the OSR game. Ryan says I have one player who changes the way they play based on character game. The other players, same bad channel, same bad time. Yeah. Yep. They're playing the same dwarf, but they're not the dwarf, but the same character in the other game. I probably do that as well. I don't know. Maybe not. There's probably, I think if somebody listened to our live play of Outcast Silver Raiders, speaking of which, when is that thing coming out? And Forbidden Lands, my character's probably the same, but just with a weird accent. Guilty. Nubis, one person in my group focuses on optimization and power fantasy in any game, even Mothership. The others don't care about systems enough to think that way. I prefer that. I'm not into gamey RPGs. Yeah. Where's Gabe? I need Gabe today. I want Gabe's take on that. Because Gabe's like, dude, you go to win. You play to win when some of those old games. Swords and Wizardry, BX, that's the goal. Win. Win. All I'm doing is gotta win, win, win. It's not the words, but you know the deal. Dad says, I mean, my players still have the same personalities no matter what they're playing, but I can see different folks lock in on a system that suits them better, which is fun. Pathfinder is how I found out that my wife is a secret min-maxer. Oh! Word is out. See, you really don't know anybody till you roleplay with them. Just saying. Hey-oh. Get to the point where my players are invested in the characters and then I declare I am bored and suggest playing a new game. I think that's my method too. Phil, we're going to need a palate cleanser when OSR ends. Clean dishes and polished silverware. Yeah, let's play another fantasy game. Hex crawl. Right? Exploration. Nubis, 100% Tad. My in real life group are not great at playing different characters, only on the surface, and that's fine. Yeah. Might be one of those players who plays the game the same no matter the game. It is something that I have become aware of more recently, trying to correct that. Yeah, I don't think it's like it's probably more common. And for those of us that probably think, no, I don't do that, they probably get a sideways look from some of the players that play with them, including this guy. Character as avatar versus character as character study. Discuss. Jokes aside, when it's time for a new game, I make a short slideshow of about 4 games. Seriously? Oh my God. You are Pitchman. They might be interested in with a short breakdown of the rules and the setting. That is hilarious. Dude, why are you putting that out on your YouTube channel? Hey, thanks everybody for being here today. I'm Orcus. Some of you might know me already from running other games and playing in some of your games. Thank you for having me today. I'm going to go through 4 tabletop role-playing games. I'm going to go over and list some highlights. But before I do, you can find me at these particular avenues online. Let me give you a little highlight, an overview of myself and who's talking today. T-Dog. Players usually play the same through the game, but with the new system, we somewhat advance in our gameplay. New ways to run rules better. Dog, you seem very level-headed. It's my interpretation from your comments, which lacks 0 tone, by the way. That's not a bad thing, let me tell you. Damn, the clock says I need to get to work. See ya. See ya, Todd. I don't think play every game the same, but I could have a blind spot about that. Title for the stream, Sean channels Don Rickles and mocks your favorite game. Well, you know. I play every game the same, annoyingly. I don't think the Delta Green game, the agent you played, Maya, right? I don't think she was annoying. Sean RPG roast. Oh man, I would love to do that. I should do that at Gamehole Con in a seminar and invite anybody who wants, whoever might be good. Roasting the RPG hobby. The only problem is you have to have people in the room to roast. Monty Cook of Monty Cook Games. Let's talk about Cypher, shall we? What the hell is a cipher in every setting? Oh, a typewriter could be a cipher. Oh, okay. Sold out show. Sold out show. No, and the thing is, no holds barred. Everybody, like even my precious Free League. Complete. Holy cow, am I that far behind? That's the ones. 2E. Fighter, complete fighter, complete thief, complete magic user, complete. Yeah, that was all the Mongoose games, right? Mongoose put those out. Players option series. Yeah, I think it's important to try to approach every game in a new way and play it to its strengths. Of course, that means I'm going to be an arcane spellcaster in anything that resembles 5e. Larry is much more diplomatic. Literally the only time in the history of history this phrase has been uttered. For references, contact HR. There you go. Harrigan, more so than the 2E complete books, I was thinking more of the third-party market and extend first-party stuff for 3.5, Pathfinder, and 5E. Yeah. Jeff says, what D&D-ish games do you like? I like Shadowdark. Dude, Jeff, you got me at a bad time. Not necessarily now, but when we started CNC, dude, I was so tired of fantasy. It's just so I still kind of am, really. Hence the new project. I don't know, man, because it's like I had said this before. This was prior to you joining us, Jeff. But it said one time, like, I'm just burned out on fantasy. Anything with a frickin' sword in it. And it's not Highlander. I was kind of like, ugh. Oh, another fantasy role-playing game. Great. There's the fighter, there's the spellcaster, there's the sneaky one, there's like, okay, and then if you stick with the D&D, well, there's the strength, the intelligence, the wisdom, the dexterity, the constitution, the charisma. Oh, okay. That's why I played Forbidden Lands. I gave Shadowdark a try because it was kind of boiled down. It's like kind of the bridge between, some would say it's OSR, some would say it's a bridge. It's got enough relative info that's a little bit different than BX and OSE. I don't know. I still feel a little jaded on fantasy. We're playing Outcast Silver Raiders right now. Dude, I don't even know what to think about that game. Because it's got like the standard array. It's 3d6 down the line. There is a set of skills. There's nuances to it, but it's, I don't know. So Jeff's probably addressing me, just so you guys are aware, because of my, like, I didn't want to play CNC. Now Jeff's going to be mad because I'm going to go to the game and he's going to know my heart's not into it. I'll play the game, dude. I've been playing the game. But I haven't. Probably the biggest problem is we play like once every 2 months. That's like just kills a game. I can never remember what's going on in the prior session. And I don't know. It's just me, man. Just me. Morning, Eileen. Good to see you. Jake, waiting for the AP release. Waiting. Okay, all right, I'm working on it. I got to edit this one, though. I don't want, like, these. We get some long pauses and stuff I want to try to edit, so I'll get it out there. Jake. All right, see you, Joe. It's almost time to get going here. Nubis, Easy Fix, Weird Space, blah, blah. I play Mothership again. It's been a few years. There you go. Stewpot is storytelling game full of mini games, cozy storytelling at kitchen sinks. There you go. Put that on the list. Sean Rose, dude, you could torch me alone for an hour plus. I wouldn't do that. Maybe. Played a male agent in Sean's earlier Delta Green, just wasn't recorded. That's true. Oh, which one was that? Yeah, so that was different, I guess. I see Free League is late to the show, just like my fulfillment. Yeah. Well, you know. And the thing is they're just like, hey, you know, it'll get to you when it gets to you kind of thing. Although I think they gave us the Foundry module, right, for free, I think. I don't think I included that in my backer. So they always like really, they've done that for a couple. Like, hey, we screwed this up, so we're just going to send maps to everybody or whatever it was for some of the weird, messed up fulfillment problems they've had in the past. Typewriter would be an artifact. Sean G. Now I have to watch my P's and Q's because Eileen is a big Cypher fan. She will educate me. Let me educate you, Sean, before you are wrong all the time. What Tim said is the reason why I can't run as many RPGs as I'd like. I want to dig into each one and use it as its full potential. I need time to do that. Too much time probably, but hey. Traveler has swords, and I don't play Traveler. Hey-oh. John Wick does too. That indeed. True. Star Wars too. No, it doesn't have lightsabers. Don't be ridiculous, host. What is this guy? Who is this guy? You and me, Gamehole Con. It's on, dude. Me and you, we're going to have words and probably a drink. And then, you know, we'll probably play games together. So that'll be cool. He's really burning every bridge. Go prehistoric. Fears and clubs. Loincloths. Dude, no armor. Armor class 8 in a D20 system. Sandals. Sword and sandals. It's a freaking thing, right? What I think Sean is really saying is he hates gnomes, and rightfully so. I love gnomes. It's probably all gnomes game. Pineapple pizza gnomes. You guys you really want to get me riled up, don't you? I'm not mad, bro. You are the one that convinced me to give CNC and OSE a go. Oh, shit. Seriously? Well, then I'll frickin' go and, commit harikari. My international shipping is super easy right now. Barely an inconvenience. Barely an inconvenience. Yes, sir. Morning, Victor. Just in time. An all gnomes game, huh? There you go, Jim. You're welcome. Somebody up. I'll give the credit up above. All right, let's get into whatever stuff I want to talk about, I guess. Should we? Just go through the quick list. For those who want to hang out for just a few minutes more and maybe not. Just remember to hit the like button. That's all. No ads. Another live stream, no ads. First one. Oh, hold on. Let me get this. It's not really news, but whatever. Put out some blogs. Greg Nardia, James Malashevsky. I've met James. He's a good guy. Writes well, speaks well. But he plays, it's older games, but every once in a while he'll feature something new. He's featured he's playing Twilight 2000, Almondwood, which are kind of newer games, right? So it's not all freaking old school, old games. He did an interview with Sean McCoy of Mothership. So if you're interested in doing that, check it out. And subscribe to his blog. I mean, he's been doing it for 18 years or something crazy. 2008 as his blog goes back. I think that's when the blog was invented. Get James Malashevsky on my freaking dais when I do the roast. Let's see. What else? Speaking of interviews, got another one for Free League's Tomas Herenstam. Talking about changing RPG market tariffs in the product pipeline. So we usually get the lip service from WotC. I don't know if we get a ton from other companies that talk about some of this stuff. There you go. Yeah, I like James. I hope he comes to GHC again. Yeah, he's a really down to earth guy for sure. I like James a lot too. And I'm at GameholeCon, very cool, dude. Let's see. U.S. gamers lose out through nasty de minimis postal fee gotcha. Dude, I don't even know what this is about, other than if you're going to get games imported to the U.S., they're going to be twice as much because there's going to be a $50 to $80 fee on top of in order to get it into the country. So to explain this a little bit better, somebody brought it up on the Discord, Modifius specifically. Hey, don't order. If you're in the U.S., don't order from the UK store. Otherwise, expect to pay an $80 tax onto the product. A recent executive order, go figure, in the United States is set to have a dramatic impact on gamers who purchase from overseas, particularly from smaller independent creators. The White House has announced the suspension of the so-called de minimis rule, which had previously allowed parcels valued at less than $800 to enter the country duty-free. This change, which takes effect on 29th of August, so get going bonkers from overseas if you need to. We should all pool our money together and get a pallet full of games. Means these low-value shipments will now be subject to tariffs. Dude, what the frickin' hell? So yeah, while it sounds like a straightforward tariff issue, the reality is far more complicated, especially for the tabletop sector. According to a statement from the UK-based company, All Rolled Up, a flat fee of $80 will be applied to every parcel before it even reaches U.S. shores. The company, known for its gaming accessories, explained the situation to its customers. Sucks, man. Sucks. This is where I would insert a joke to maybe provide some levity, but you just can't do it. So there you go. There you go. And then lastly, Gen Con, the Con of Gens, 2025 sets a new attendance record, sells out again, tops last year's exhibitor totals. This is an article I got a kick out of only because of this. The convention once again sold out with nearly 72,000 attendees. The attendance for this show has increased steadily over the last 3 years by about 1,000 attendees per year. That's like a 1.04% growth. Like, woo, right? Yeah, for small cons, 1,000's like huge, right? Gamehole Con increases by 1,000, and they're less than 10,000 per year. Then they're going to have like an over 10% increase or growth rate, right? If my math's right. Dude, noticed it wasn't, hey, for the last 3 years, Gen Con has increased by 1.04%. It's either 1.04 or 1.4. I think it's 1.04. Like, okay. And the only reason they can't probably grow anymore is because there's no more housing. There's literally talks of, well, wait until this hotel goes up. So if that hotel has a few hundred rooms, hey, guess what? Gen Con is going to increase by 500 rooms like next year. They're freaking at capacity, man. It's hilarious. Anyways, 72,000 at Gen Con. I went there when it was 2011. I think it was their first year, 2011. 30,000 people. Totally cool. Comfortable. Still big con. Can't imagine going there with 72,000. I'd be like, what in the hell am I doing here? Although, if I get a box, if people want to go to Gen Con and we get a box in Lucas Oil Stadium, dude, I'm down. That's the way to go. Cadillac style. Gen Con is a runaway train. The demographics are changing too. More and more younger people are attending. Well, that's good. That's good. Dude, I got the old man chip on my shoulder already starting to take show. What am I going to do? Anyways, no bundles. Let's go. Print. Castles and Crusades has a starter kit. There you go. That's out. $30. And then they also have the Crusader Journal number 28. Jeff, you should subscribe to the Crusader Journal. Next one, Season of the Snail by Melsonian Arts Council. Softcover digest adventures for Troika. Next one, Greenhorns, a weird space RPG. Greenhorns Essentials by Spicy Tuna. Hardcover core rulebook and softcover starter. Arkham Horror by Edge Studio. I think this is the only game they're working on from now on, I think. Midnight's like not being talked about. I don't even know if Star Wars is being not talked about. I think they're running games at Gamehole Con, like Edge Studio is, but it's going to be Arkham Horror all over the place. Terra Antarctica is the game. Box set, $60. Wander Home 3rd edition is out. Hardcover core rulebook. System Belonging Outside Belonging Engine. There you go. World of Killers by Two Little Mice. I didn't realize that wasn't out. Inspired by John Wick, Kill Bill, Assassin's Creed, and Hitman. PCs take on the role of heroic killers who must cooperate to carry out nearly impossible missions. Backers got that if you could. They might even they might have even included that in the latest, like the adventure Indiana Jones spinoff that they did. And then Warhammer 40K Roleplay Imperium Maledictum starter set for $40 is out. There you go. Print news. Let's get into crowdfunding. Crowdfunding. The throes of the last weeks and days of the campaign are afoot. I didn't put the links in the freaking thing. Shoot. I'll put them in when I get done. All right, fine. I'll do it now. Jeez. Please, Louise. Crowdfunding. Draconim, a narrative first a narrative first dragon bonding TTRPG from Crossed Paths Press on backer kit. 185 quid, which means if you're getting it from the UK, that thing is going to be like 200, 220, 260. I mean, now we got to start like, well, forget it. If it's anything outside the US, it's just outside my freaking reach. Says the US guy, not empathizing with the Canadian plight of RPGers. Buck up, Americans. Ways and Means of Heart source book from Rowan Rookin Descartes. Heart, the City Beneath. Heart was mentioned in the chat today. There you go. Next one, Vaults of Arn. It's for Knave. It's a Knave variant. 40 quid. Second edition of the most post-apocalyptic, post-human science fantasy TTRPG inspired by Dune, Hyperion, and the Book of the New Sun. Shiver, Corporate. Backer kit. These are all backer kits. Backer kit, backer kit, backer kit. No Kickstarter. We all know how some of us feel about backer kit. Weird Frontiers role-playing game reference guide. It's my buddy Dave. Stiff Whiskers Press. Source book, $25 for the PDF and POD discount coupons for both books. The reference book supports Stiff Whiskers Press DCC Weird Frontiers. If you GM Weird Frontiers, this compiles all the GM reference in a single 80-plus page resource to help speed gameplay. Just for record, Weird Frontiers has got to be the thickest RPG book ever published in the history of tabletop role-playing games. And that's saying something if you've ever seen Traveller 5 or even Champions. Like, it is no joke. So if you want to run this game and you need a reference guide, 80-plus pages is... Dave has done some trimming. There's also Gold Fever Comes to Owl Creek, a 0-level funnel to get you into this world, and a PDF of a new character class to add to the mayhem. It's cool. I really hope that I probably will back that just to help out Dave. I know he took a huge loss on the original game. Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, Burp Warp game minis from Super Savage Systems on back, like all backer kit, not a single freaking Kickstarter. Holy cow! There you go, $190 for this Neon Lords miniatures for your camp. 24 minis are for the skirmish game and include Riders of the Burp Warp Scumdogs, Baddies, Bros for Hire, and the WrestleManiacs packs. So there you go. Shoom. Shoom, shoom, shoom. That's it. That's all I got. All I got this week. Thanks for staying long. For those of you that have backed me and send me our Patreons, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Patronage may change in the near future. Just saying. New initiative. Gonna be great. Very excited. Kicks off tomorrow. I will say that. It's gonna be fun. Some of you will not like it. Some of you will very much want to tune in. It's coming. I've got things in motion here. So excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. So stay tuned. It's going to be a little while. We're going to put a few in the can. I'll say that. I hint a little there. A few in the can. Yeah, baby. So yeah, check out this thing over here if you want to check out another live stream or video on the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's been good to see all of you. Be safe, play some games, and be a positive force in tabletop RPG. We'll catch you on the next one next week, 8 a.m. Central Time. Bing, bam, boom. Ciao.